asking. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Morning. I hope you have a great day ahead. My name is Rohit Dadwal. I am the CEO for MMA Asia Pacific and the Global Head of Smarties, which is our Global Awards program. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you for the Marketing Talk Summit. As Asti mentioned recently, this is really important as technology starts to invade, if I must say, the space of advertising and marketing. A lot of what we are seeing in advertising and marketing is actually driven by technology now. MMA is an industry body. Can we have the slides, please? We are an industry body, a global authoritative body, which has been in Indonesia for the last 10 years, working on building new frameworks, new guidelines, new policies around the use of advertising and marketing. We truly believe that Indonesia as a market and Asia as a region is well prepared and well placed for the new age of advertising and marketing. Whatever we are seeing in terms of shopping, live commerce, etc., most of that, if you really think of it, has actually started in Asia. The origins of the new age of marketing actually happens in Asia, and we all collectively play a very important role in that. Our purpose is really to help build the capability, make sure that we share the knowledge that goes from one market to another, cross the boundaries, and ensure that we are able to build the frameworks, the underlying pillars of that to help build this industry going forward. We are a member-driven organization, and our focus is really to build these conferences, share knowledge, build best practices so that we can bring the knowledge to the industry, ensure that we are able to move ahead with a focus on building partnerships to be able to do that. What I want to take over the next couple of minutes is share with you some of the work that we are doing at a global level. We are pioneers in the space of new age frameworks and guidelines. We work under 4 pillars, 4 think tanks that we call MAT, which is the multi-touch attribution, MOST, which is the organization restructure, ALTT, AI leadership, and DAT, which is about data and consumer experience. Within each of these pillars, we are ensuring that we are building the sets of guidelines and build policies around those frameworks. And not just build theoretical frameworks or academic. We take these frameworks, we take these methodologies, the new methodologies, and actually work with our brand partners to ensure that we run those frameworks and understand what's the advantage of those frameworks. How does it benefit the marketing industry? Across each one of these pillars, we've been able to prove empirically, without doubt, across hundreds of case studies, across different markets, that if we start to adopt technology, we start to adopt the new age of thinking, the consumer understanding, and work with these frameworks, we are able to add value to the marketing community. In certain cases, as much as 60% return of investment on any of the marketing campaigns, till as high as 200%. And that means that you just start to adopt the new way of thinking for marketing and advertising. And that brings me to Indonesia. I think it's really important for us to look at it from an Indonesia perspective also. The digital economy here is growing. It's supposed to be doubling in the next 5 years. It's not just about the dollar value. It's also about the reach, the capability, the indexing of understanding the consumer behavior. With this growing population, it's a very young population. Technology is advancing very fast. It's also getting adopted faster than that. In that dynamic landscape, these are research numbers that we have in front of you. But every time, if you look back in the history of 10 years, every year, Indonesia has accelerated the expectations of any research and forecast. And with that, what it really means is that we need to turn this scale into value. We need to invest in talent. We need to invest in AI. And we have to look beyond Jakarta. I can assure you, the moment we go beyond the boundaries and the borders of Jakarta, there is a huge untapped population from an advertising and marketing perspective. But it's not just delivering those messages to them, it's the adoption across those markets that needs to be built. And that consumer trust needs to be built. The spending outlook is already going to grow. But what is more important is we are able to identify the real problem. And the problem here is not about technology. Technology is the means to the end. It's building that trust with the consumer. If we are able to build that, if we are able to work on that and experiment fast and learn and make sure that we measure those outcomes, we are able to adopt to those outcomes. I think they are bigger rewards for us as an industry. We believe video is going to keep on driving that change. Social commerce is going to lead from a consumer perspective and from a marketeer's perspective. But what it also means is there have to be right investments to be put in place. The investments in budget, we see it's already exceeding the APAC average. Indonesia investments are much higher than what some of the other neighboring markets are. And even the percentage of the budgets of marketing are on the higher side in Indonesia. In spite of the challenges, in spite of the changes that the landscape has provided in Indonesia, the consumer uptake is much higher. And we believe that will continue to grow. And the other thing that I wanted to touch upon, and these are just some high-level points that I wanted to share with you, is as we look at the rest of the day and the conversation that happens, and we also have Pa Ilham to be here to share with us his vision on what the next future of advertising would be, and the growth in the industry and the economics of that will be, is really driving the confidence of the executives, which is already fairly high. But there is a significant gap in the consumer trust. And that needs to be bridged. The sooner we are able to bridge that gap, the investments that we need to make in helping bridge that gap is going to be important. Because technology provides data. It provides speed, scale, and intelligence. What marketing ensures is that the technology solves a real need, a consumer need, helps build trust and creates demand. And for us, as we work together to help solve this, I think from an Indonesia business perspective, new consumers, the SME business, they all need to be strengthened. We need to ensure that technology creates capability, but it's the local brands and the local businesses that need to create the demand and trust around it. We need to ensure that we continue to focus on productivity, we continue to focus on growth. And that, to me, is the key learning and key outlook as we spend the rest of the day amongst all the learned speakers to understand where is this growth going to come from. And we need to make the right investments for this growth. With that, I'd like to thank you all once again for coming for this conference. And I hope you have a very successful learning day ahead. Thank you so much.